Welcome back, TK fans. Jane here, and today we're going to go over how to buy a horse in the auctions. First, you'll want to go to your stable and go to Stable Finances. This will tell you how much money you have in the bank. We have $245,000 in the bank. Now be warned, this is how much we have. If you aren't racing, you're not necessarily going to make more money than that. So, you want to make sure you have some in the bank or you're black at all times. As you can see, we are $4,000 in the red this week, but we still have league racing. Next, you'll want to go to the auctions homepage. Here, you can set up different conditions for buying a horse. We'll say we can go with any price, and we're going to go with the horse for sale. We want one that can race in league, so we'll do a 3-year-old to a 10-year-old. You can do any other restriction you desire, and there are some bonus options that are only available to OC members. Select Next, and you'll see all the horses on sale. I have them listed from the most current to be sold to the most recently listed. As you can see, there are 181 horses that fit our search criteria. This is why it helps to really narrow down the field. As you can see, some say they have a bidder, and some of them have a reserve price, which means the horse will stay with their current stable unless that price is met. You cannot bid under a reserve bid. Now, if we go through, we'll notice that a lot of horses are out of our price range. Now here we have a mare that is within our price range. Her name is Please. If we go to the page, we'll go and look at her. As you can see, her overall rating is 23. But that's due to the fact that she is rather tired right now. As you can see, her medical condition is weary, her physical condition is spent, and her vet assessment is drained. This may not be the best horse for our stable because she is not really able to race at this time. Also, if we go to Experience and Form, we'll see that she doesn't have any experience, and this wouldn't really help us in our early racing days. So we'll X out of her. As we go further down, we'll notice that there's a horse named Octagon Birch. His overall rating is 27, and his physical racing health is almost perfect. He would be a good horse to possibly buy. What we'll want to do is go to Experience and Form, and we'll notice that he has some experience, which helps us out when we're starting. To bid on the horse, first you'll go to the Auctioned for Sale. There is also another option called Stud Services, but you don't get to keep the horse then. So what we'll do is we'll say we're going to bid $3,000 for this horse. A pop-up will come up and says, do you want to bid? Say okay, or if you don't want to bid and you hit it accidentally, just click cancel. Now it tells us that we have placed a bid. This does not necessarily mean that we will win the horse. There's 19 hours and 3 minutes left to the auction. A lot of people can bid between now and then. Also, you'll notice in this stables, you'll notice that they have more than just this one horse for sale. We can click on them and see what they are like. We can go and bid on more than one of just their horses if we desire. To do that, you just do place bid as we did before. Now let's go through and see how our auction is going. To do this, go to the Auctions tab and hit your auction records. Here you'll see your current bids that are out. And you'll see that we are still winning Octagon Birch. If you click the down arrow, it'll tell you when you placed your bid and if someone has overbid you for that horse. Now another type of auction that you can go to is the stud auction. To do that, you go to the auctions homepage and you go to stud services. A horse can only stud between the ages of 4 and 12, and it must be a stallion. Stud auctions can be expensive. They can go anywhere from $1,000 all the way up to a couple of $1 million. Be careful. Also, you want to make sure that your mare is able to be bred during the right time. When you win a stud auction, you only get those fees and the rights to use that stallion for 1 week. If you do not use it within that week, you no longer have the stud fees, and the horse can go back up for stud options. As you can see, stud fees can be expensive, and there are lots of options. Make sure to do some research and ask around to what would be the best stud for your mare. Another thing you can do with auctions is auction off one of your horses. To do this, click on the horse, and you'll see on the right-hand side, auction this horse. Now, when doing this, the horse will go up for sale for 3 days. The auction type will be sale, and you can have a reserve price. There is a maximum reserve on all horses, and this is based off of their overall rating and if they are styled or not. Our filly is not styled, so we're going to say a reserve price of $5,000. Once you start the auction, it cannot be undone, and you can't give this horse away to a school child until after the auction is over. So we're going to say start the auction. And a little pop-up will come up saying, "Are you sure you wish to commence this auction?" And we're going to say okay. Also, another thing you can do is you can go to one of your stallions. This is only an option for stallions, and you can say make available for stud. To do this, hit the make available for stud link on the right-hand side, and you go to auction type. With stallions, there are 2 types, so make sure that you do stud rights, not sale, if that is what you are looking for. On here, you will also see that you can have a maximum reserve for sale and a maximum reserve for stud. We're going to list him at $5,000. We'll say start the auction, and you'll see, are you sure you wish to commence this auction? Make sure if you're doing stud rights that you have the stud rights auction. If you don't, he'll go up for sale and you could lose him in the auction. Hit OK, and then he'll be listed for the next 3 days. To tell if you auctioned him correctly or not, click on him, click on your horse, and you'll see that there's a little sign that says stud rights. And here, now everyone can see what your horse is like. Also, if you go to your filly, you'll see the same thing. Well, that's the basic rundown of auctions. See you next time, and have a good day.